Instagram. Go live. Okay. Right? Did we do it? Are we live? Is we live? Okay. We should be up here on Instagram. Are we live on Instagram? Yeah. Wait, are we? Okay. All right. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Who's Getting Sued This Week, brought to you by NPL Consulting Firm. Excuse me. I'm a little discombobulated because I'm not sure if we're live on Instagram because I don't see. Hold on. Create. Go. Hold on. Is it live or not? Am I live? Hold on. No. Am I live? Hold on, guys. I thought I had this all figured out, and apparently I do not, which is annoying. Hold on. Okay, so I'm definitely not live on Instagram. Okay. Oh, I am live. Okay. Public, next. Go live, girl. Hold on, guys. No. Okay. You know what? Remove this. It's just too hard. Okay. All right. Okay. Every time I try and do this, it just don't work out for me. So, all right. All right, here we go. No, and now I'm live on the wrong thing. Okay. Discard. All right, let's go back here. And live. Okay. Every week, this thing gets on my nerves. Okay. Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Who's Getting Sued This Week, brought to you by NPL Legal Dish. Last week, what did we talk about? Last week we talked about a lot about defamation. Chris Brown is suing. What did we say? We found out that Chris Brown is suing Warner Brothers because they came out with a documentary about him called A History of Violence. Hi, a Black Egyptian DC Marketplace. What else did we talk about? We talked about Prince Harry winning 10 million pounds from the Sun because they were invading his family's privacy and and just spreading lies about his family. So we talked a lot about defamation last week, right? Now, this week we are on the case again with new stories. So I just want you guys to sit tight with me and enjoy the ride. And just in case we have anybody in here who happens to be new, my name is Natalie Pure Lewis. I'm the host of the show. This is Who's Getting Sued This Week, where we learn business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. Okay, so our first story of the evening. If any of you, what a bumbleclot? Are you kidding me? Come on, bro. What's going on? Hold on, guys. Okay. Okay. Now I understand. All right. So our first story of the evening is a very familiar face that I'm sure a lot of you are going to recognize. Mr. Kanye West, also going by Ye. How many of y'all saw him and his wife show up at the Grammys wearing nothing? And apparently they were, it's not that they were, from what I read was they weren't kicked out of the Grammys, but they didn't have any seats, so they couldn't go in. So I guess they just went to the Grammy red carpet to take pictures and then left. But anyway, that's besides the point. Kanye and his antics. So I have talked to you guys a lot about, because Kanye has been sued a lot for copyright infringement, particularly on his last couple of albums. He was sued by Ozzy Osbourne, Donna Summer's estate, some lesser known artists who, they had been in talks with him to use the music and nothing was, ever solidified. So it has been a pattern of behavior for Kanye to just use people's stuff without permission, right? And we have another case of that here. There was a bishop by the name of Bishop David Paul Moten, and apparently he gave a really amazing sermon that touched Kanye, to where Kanye used part of the sermon on a song that he wrote called "Come to Life," right? And like everybody else who has sued Kanye for copyright infringement, the bishop heard his, sermon on this record, was like, what's going on? I didn't give my permission for this. Went to Kanye's people, said, what's up? And apparently they were going back and forth. I don't think this ever got to actual court, but there has been some type of settlement, right? Now, they have not disclosed what the settlement is, but what do you think the settlement might be? Do we think that the bishop got writing credits? Do we think that he got cash? Do we think that he got, I don't know, Kanye swag? What do you think persuaded the bishop to stop pursuing his copyright infringement suit against Kanye West, and take a settlement? What would make you feel better if somebody took your stuff without your permission and used it to make money? What would make you feel better and go away? So even though they're not saying what the settlement was, I'm pretty sure there was a hefty sum of cash that Kanye's people had to fork over. Now, look, I'm not counting nobody's coins, and I know Kanye is far from broke, but wouldn't it just be easier to get permission from these people to use their stuff? If I read correctly, Kanye is currently paying about $200,000 a month in child support. Okay. Now that High Hope one. Now $200,000 in child support. Just child, that doesn't include your other expenses, and you live a very extravagant lifestyle. And I know you have a legal team that is on call all the time because you're always doing some crazy stuff, right? So why not use that expensive legal team to make sure that you get the proper licensing to use people's material in your music? Hello, Candy Cape Cod DC. Thanks for joining. Guys, if you are looking for luxury accommodations in the heart of the nation's capital, I encourage you to follow Candy Cape Cod DC, because she's got some amazing things going on there. But yeah, so Kanye has settled with Bishop David Paul Moten. And while we don't know the amount that they settled for, I'm pretty sure the bishop probably got a six-figure sum, maybe a donation to the church. But Kanye, just get permission. It's not that hard, right? So just let that be a lesson to you guys. You can't just use someone's work without their permission, especially if it is legally copyrighted, right? When you have a legal copyright, that gives you the right to go to the court and say, hey, someone's using my stuff in a way that I don't like and without my permission. Make them stop and make them give me money, right? So that's why copyrights are important, all right? Next story that we are going to talk about. How many of y'all had the 96 color box, the Crayola 96 crayon box? If you had that crayon box as a child, please give me a crayon emoji. Now, you knew you were elite in the classroom. You got it now? You knew you were elite in the classroom if you had the 96 color crayon box. And don't let it have that little sharpener in the front too, okay? So, and now, who knows Crayola crayon's biggest competitor? If you didn't have Crayola crayons, what brand of crayons did you usually have? Does anybody remember? Let me see how good y'all memories are. And especially if you have children right now in school, you should probably know. Do they still color in school? Do they still have crayons? I feel like everything's on the computer now. I ain't got no kids, so I don't know. But yes. So who remembers or who knows Crayola's biggest competitor in the crayon game? I think the crayon name, they're like Rosedale or something. Anyway, you always knew the difference as a child between the Crayola and the Rosedale crayons, because the Crayola crayons, the color was just a little bit richer. The crayons were just a little bit thicker. It was like the competitor crayons very much gave great value, right? But hey, if that's what you had, that's what you had, right? But there was also a smell. Crayola crayons have a particular smell. And while we know the Crayola brand, Crayola has recently done another thing to secure their intellectual property. Crayola crayon has successfully trademarked the smell of their crayons. Can you believe that? Think about the smell of a Crayola crayon. Think about the memories that are evoked when you smell a Crayola crayon. And Crayola has now said, that smell, we own it. Okay. Now let me tell you how Crayola describes this scent that they have trademarked for their crayons. They say it is a scent reminiscent of a slightly earthy soap with pungent leather-like clay undertones. Okay. Now when I think earthy soap, I'm thinking like African black soap. I don't know if I'm in the right range there. And then pungent leather-like clay undertones. I don't know what all that means. I just know what a Crayola crayon smells like, right? And this is not the first time a company has managed to do that. How many of y'all ever played with Play-Doh? If you did not know, the smell of Play-Doh is trademarked. Now, getting a trademarked smell is not the easiest thing to do, but it's not impossible. And both Play-Doh and Crayola have managed to do that. And I think it's very interesting that they are both companies that deal with children's products, children's play products, crayons, Play-Doh, whatever. But they, and I think that's also very important, because when we smell those things, when you smell Play-Doh, when you smell Crayola crayons, right, that brings you back to childhood. That is a smell that makes you remember things. And now and because these companies have those smells on lock, now they kind of have a hold in your brain, because those smells, again, they unlock that what do you call that nostalgia. So you're more likely to buy that brand, especially now that it's trademarked. So congratulations to Crayola for getting that done. Now, you can't do that. You couldn't do that with a perfume, because the point of a perfume is to smell good, right? To have a particular smell. But you can do this with crayons, because crayons, their primary function is not to smell. it's to color, right? So I hope you guys understand the difference between that, okay? So good luck to Crayola, keeping them memories alive, all right? Okay, before we move on to our next stories of the evening, I want to remind you guys, you are watching Who's Getting Sued This Week, brought to you by NPL Legal Dish. This is where we learn business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are trying to get your business venture started in the new year and you're looking for some legal guidance, I'm your girl. You can go to linktree/NPL consulting firm to book yourself a free 15-minute consultation. All right, that is for first-time clients, and we can get you on the road. Okay. All right. Next story that we are talking about. Okay, my designer girls. How many of y'all own anything from Christian Dior? If you own any Christian Dior goods, please give me a CD, the letters CD, in the comments. Now, it can be a bag, it can be a wristlet, it can be whatever. As long as it is a genuine Christian Dior item, I would like you to give me a C, the letters CD in the comments, okay? Now, we all know Christian Dior as a high-end brand. They're pretty expensive. You're not going to find them in Walmart. You're not going to find them, at Target. You're probably going to have to go, if at best, at minimum, to Macy's or Nordstrom's to find yourself a Christian Dior product, right? And it's a name that has a lot of respect in the fashion world and in the luxury world. I want you to, so of course, because they are such a respected name in the luxury world, Christian Dior wants to maintain a certain reputation, right? I want to show you guys somebody. I'm going to show you guys somebody real quick. Stop screen presents. I'm going to show you guys somebody. Okay. Instagram, I know you can't see the pictures. You're gonna have to come over to YouTube. I'm sorry. Okay. So if you are watching on StreamYard, you see this picture of a blonde woman in a blue dress on the screen. Her legal name is Stephanie Hodge, but she goes by the name Gigi Dior in her profession. Miss Gigi Dior is an adult film star. Okay, she she makes adult movies. She's a porn star. Okay, and hey, it's a profession. They make money. I'm not shaming nobody's work, right? And Gigi Dior, and like any other business where you are setting up your brand, Gigi Dior wants to, secure her name in the adult film world. So she filed a trademark for the name Gigi Dior for, adult entertainment, things like that. And Christian Dior, the company, is opposing her trademark. They are saying allowing her to have this trademark would create a false association between her and the House of Dior, and it would dilute the reputation and trademark of Christian Dior. They also said that having an adult film star being able to trademark their name with Dior would cause the Christian Dior brand to face ridicule. Okay? Now, again, we are not shaming Miss Gigi Dior. Get your money, girl, right? But again, when we think about Christian Dior, the luxury brand, do we think adult film star? Do we think adult movies? Do we think adult entertainment? Anything? Probably not. When we're thinking Christian Dior, we're thinking luxury bags, luxury clothes, shoes. I think they have a perfume. Yeah, they have J'adore Dior. Yeah. So Christian Dior, in order to maintain this high level of respect in the fashion world, they are going to be very, very protective of who's out there using their brand. I remember when I first started my business, and this is how I got started. In DC, they had decriminalized cannabis, and people were, doing what they do to make their money. And I saw a young lady take the double C's from Coco Chanel and put them on top of her product to sell it. And I was like, you're going to go to jail. These fashion houses, these luxury houses have spent decades, years building up these brands. You can't just take their name and put it on your stuff. Okay. So Gigi Dior, while her lane of industry does not intersect with Christian Dior, because Christian Dior is such a worldwide name and it is so well known and well respected, they have to be very careful with who they let go around here using the name Dior, especially if you're going to trademark it. Now, if Gigi Dior was just doing her films and wasn't trying to trademark this name, she probably wouldn't have an issue. The problem that Christian Dior as a house has is that she wants to trademark that name and own it. Do you guys think that Christian Dior is doing too much, or are they just zealously protecting their brand? Let me know what you think about that. I do think that they are zealously protecting their brand, because Miss Gigi Dior, why did you choose the name Dior, right? If you look at a lot of people who work in the adult film industry, particularly the women, they will use pseudonyms that include, the high-end names like Chanel or Tiffany's, Dior. What else? I remember there was a young woman, a young adult film star who was going by the name Tyra Banks, but she spelled Banks with 3 X's. And I remember Tyra Banks brought her onto her show because she was like, girl, hello, I'm Tyra Banks. What you doing? But yeah, so Christian Dior does not want Gigi Dior to be able to trademark this name. But I want to know from you guys, do you think Gigi Dior should be able to trademark that name, for her adult entertainment activities? What y'all think? Okay. Let me know. Let me see. Let me remove that. Remove. Stop screen. All right. So we have gone over Christian Dior, Crayola, Kanye. Okay. Our next story. Oh, this is important for all of my artists. Now, I don't have pictures for this one, but this is very important. If you are a creative who uses AI, okay, the Supreme Court has just ruled that you can copyright work or art that is generated using AI. Now, it cannot be completely AI. There has to be human guidance and a human component, right? Where the argument comes in is how much human guidance, how much of a human component does there need to be for this work generated with AI? How much does there need to be in order for this work to be able to be copyrighted, right? So for if you are someone who like I follow a lot of people who are now, they're doing AI pictures, and these are amazing pictures. But if you want your work to be protected, I pray that you're not just, putting in a sentence into Chat GPT or whatever the equivalent is and say, make me this, this, and this, and then thinking that it's going to be able to be protected. You have to have a significant amount of human effort into it to show that this is actually art that is just being aided by AI, right? Um, yeah. So, do we have any AI artists who are, watching right now, or if you're watching the replay? If you are a person who creates using AI, how do you feel about this ruling by the Supreme Court? Because this could affect you. This could affect your livelihood. This could affect your ability to protect and and use your art the way that you want to, right? Um, so we need to keep an eye on that. And I am 150% sure that the number of AI copyright cases that are going to come up are going to quadruple in the next 10 years, because AI, they're putting AI in everything, right? So you've got to be careful. And speaking of AI, a lot of us use open AI products. I think open AI, are they the chat GPT people? Anyway, open AI, they create a lot of open source AI tools, things that everybody can use. Well, they have recently filed some new trademarks, and apparently they are going to be are in the works. They're developing some humanoid robots and also smart jewelry. Now let's go back to this humanoid robot. Can you imagine? Now we already have AI. A lot of you use Chat GPT like that's your bestie, and and treat it like it's your best friend. Now imagine you have your Chat GPT bestie put in a human looking body, robot body. I'm telling you, people gonna start marrying these robots. 25 years. I give it 25 years tops. People gonna try and marry these AI robots. All right. It's getting a little crazy, but that's what OpenAI is doing. Okay. Um, and then yeah, we have a short show this week. Our final story this week. I need all my all my scent aficionados to the front. All my scent aficionados, I need you to the front. If you are, you have, oh crap, did I close that out? Dang. If you have the latest scents, if you are super into like what do they call it? Oud. This story is for you. So, can you name me one of the beauty brands, one of the makeup brands, or not even makeup, one of the scent brands? When you're walking through the mall, what are some of the companies that you see when they're spraying? They're like, "Hey, come smell this," right? They've got all sorts of companies doing that. One of the big ones is Estee Lauder, right? Now, Estee Lauder, they not only make makeup, they also make scents, right? And Estee Lauder also they own the Clinique line. So if you've ever purchased anything from Clinique, that's also Estee Lauder. Now, again, like I said, Estee Lauder, they delve in scents as well. Particularly, there is a scent, they have Happy by Clinique, and they have Beautiful by Estee Lauder, right? Now we know that we live in a world of dupes, right? And I know many of y'all have seen, the oil man on the train selling you the scents that's supposed to be the same smell as the high designer brands, right? Well, it's not just the oil man who does that. Apparently, CVS and Family Dollar have been doing the same thing, and they are being sued by Estee Lauder. So if you have ever, now the drugstore has really expanded in the last few years in what they carry, right? And CVS and Family Dollar are no exception. You can get pretty much anything you need there, beauty wise, right? and including perfume. And just like CVS has, their store brand lotions and soaps and things, apparently they also have their store brand versions of certain perfumes, and they have been selling them under the name Preferred Fragrance, and the names of the scents are Impressions of Happy by Clinique and Impressions of Beautiful by Estee Lauder. So these people, CVS and Family Dollar, are saying, hey, we are literally selling fake Estee Lauder and fake Clinique impressions of. Okay. So Estee Lauder, they said, oh, no, you don't. And they have filed a trademark infringement lawsuit against CVS and Family Dollar. They're claiming trademark dilution. They're claiming trademark and infringement and false advertisement. Hi, 76 Grim K. Now, I'm totally on Estee Lauder's side because you didn't even try CVS. You named your perfume Impressions of whatever the thing is that you're copying. You didn't even try to come up like you know how they had Dracar Noir, and then they had like the off-brand version. You didn't even try to do that. You just stole the name and then put Impressions up. So Estee Lauder is not happy, and they are currently suing CVS and Family Dollar for trademark infringement. You are not too big to get sued. And if you are making low-cost dupes of high-end items or higher-end items, be like e.l.f. Okay? Be like the e.l.f. brand. We talked about that last week. They were sued by Benefit because they made a low-cost dupe of their mascara. But e.l.f. was like, we were never trying to be Benefit. We don't even get sold where Benefit gets sold, right? And they named their thing something totally different, kind of similar, but you could tell it's different. In this one, all you did was say Impressions of this one. So it was a very lazy job on, CVS's part. And frankly, I think they deserve to get sued. But yeah, so those were the stories that I had for you this week. We were a little short on, hot stories this week. This is why I encourage you guys to send me stuff in the inbox, because I can't catch everything, and there have been times where I have not heard of that, where there have been, steaming hot tea, and you guys have brought it to me. So I encourage you, if there are stories that you want me to talk about, please send them to my inbox. I love it when you guys talk to me. But I'm going to leave you guys here tonight. We've gone through all of the stories that I had for this week. It was a little light this week. I will be splitting up the stories on YouTube, so keep an eye out for that. As well, it's the beginning of February. I'm trying to think if I have anything to tell y'all. Oh, stay tuned, because I'm coming out with some new heat for y'all soon. So if you see some interesting, IG posts, stay tuned. All right. So have a good night, guys, and enjoy yourselves. Bye.